welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing a story with you guys. It is my stillbirth story. I had a stillborn son back in 2017, and I am now ready to share my story with you guys. So let's get right into this video. So I found out I was pregnant in, I believe, November 2017, and I just missed my period for 2 weeks or whatever. So I took a test, found out I was pregnant. I told my boyfriend, we told our families, and we began the pregnancy journey. Had my doctor's appointments and things like that, and everything was perfect. He always had a good heart rate. I didn't have any pregnancy complications. My feet didn't swell. I didn't have any like high blood pressure issues or preeclampsia or anything like that. Matter of fact, I had a doctor that said that I had pretty much a 99% perfect pregnancy, and that 1% is if anything happened. So I went through my pregnancy and things were fine. So my due date was June 29th, and on June 26th I went into my doctor's office, and I had at that point I was having my weekly appointments with my midwives. And I went to the doctor's office, and like I said, everything was normal throughout the whole pregnancy and things like that. So there was no concern, nothing to be worried or anything like that. So that day I had my appointment, everything was fine. He had a very strong heartbeat and stuff like that. So my midwife was just like, well, do you want to meet your son a couple of days early? And I'm like, why not? Who wouldn't? So I agreed to be induced. So she's like, get your bag, get something to eat, and come back, because you won't be able to eat once we start the process of being induced. So I said, okay. So we got to the hospital, got checked in, and we're settling into the hospital room and things like that. And while I am still being registered into the hospital, they're taking my insurance information and my personal information, some nurses come running into the room, and they're like, oh my goodness, I'm not sure what the issue was still to this day, but basically they said, we've spoken to your doctor and you need to have an emergency C-section. So I'm like, okay, I didn't ask any questions because everything was happening so fast, and I'm not going to be like, oh no, sit here and explain it to me. If my son's life is at risk, let's do what we have to do to get him out. So I went into the OR, and my mom was able to come with me because I was awake. So we went in, and I gave my mom my phone. I'm just like, Mom, take the pictures once he comes out. I took my lock off so my phone wouldn't lock. So I was like, here's my phone, any pictures and videos, because things that I've seen on TV, I guess they when you have a C-section, they take your baby and they put him or her on your stomach, on your chest. And so I'm just like, I'm ready for that moment. I'm ready to hear him cry, and I'm ready for the moment where I can do skin to skin with my with our baby. So I'm laying there, and they're operating on me in the middle of my surgery and things like that. And I remember the anesthesiologist was behind my head. If I look up, I couldn't see her. And I remember at one point I said to her, hey ma'am, I'm like, is he out? Is he out yet? And she looked over the curtains, and she was like, no, he's not out yet. I said, okay. So then maybe about 20 minutes later, I was like, hey, is he out now? Is he out now? Because time had gone by. She looked over the curtain again, and she was like, okay, he's out now. So I'm like, oh, mommy, he's out. Take the pictures, get the camera ready and things like that. But then I never heard him cry, and I'm like, okay, maybe he's just not crying, but he's okay. So time went by so fast. Next thing you know, they're asking my mom to leave the room, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe they're getting him ready to be, I don't know, whatever they do after birth. And I'm like, maybe they're gonna go ahead and move my mom to the waiting room for them to close me up now. Maybe she's not supposed to be in the room during that time. I don't know. But I'm not thinking the worst at that time. So it seems like time just went by, They gave me more medication so I wouldn't remember what happened, but that didn't mean that I couldn't hear or my brain wasn't registering what was going on, because it was definitely registering what was going on. It's just that I still wasn't thinking the worst. So eventually they closed me up and they moved me to the recovery room. So when I get into the recovery room, it's my mom and my dad, my doctor, my boyfriend, and I think his brother. I don't remember who else was there, but all I know is that my doctor, well, let me back up. Throughout my pregnancy, I saw 2 midwives, and I met my doctor one time. I went to a practice where there were 4 doctors, and there were midwives for those doctors. And throughout my whole pregnancy, I only saw 2 midwives. And then I met one doctor. Well, I met each of the doctors one time, so that whenever I went into labor, I would have at least met that doctor one time. So when I went to the recovery room, I saw that doctor that I had met during my pregnancy. And, you know, I could see this look on her face, and she's just like, you know, Bettina, I don't have any good news for you. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't even know you. Like, that's how I felt. And I'm like, how am I going to have my whole pregnancy and have all my appointments, and then this lady comes talking about, oh, I don't have any good news for you. Because in my head, I'm like, I don't even know you. Why are you talking to me? You just did my surgery. Okay, where's my son? So I look at my midwife, who's standing at the end of my bed, and she is like, I'm like, you know, I say her name. I'm like, I need some good news from you. Where's my child? And she's like, I'm sorry, I don't have any good news for you. And I'm like, where is he? Like, at that point, I knew that we couldn't do anything to bring him back. So all I wanted was to have him in my arms. So the nurses brought him into the room where I was, and I just literally, I held him in my hands and I just looked at him. I unwrapped him so I can see his chest, see his arms, his feet, his legs, his toes, his fingers, and everything. And I just sat there with him in my arms and I just cried, just staring at him. And I just remember that moment. That's probably the biggest moment that I remember of that whole week. And that week felt like it was so long. Because I had a C-section, I still had to stay in the hospital, regardless of the situation, regardless of the outcome, which felt like torture. Because I'm like, I'm supposed to be in this hospital as a mom, getting to know my child with, you know, his father, and taking pictures and starting to build memories and just talk about how life is going to be and how life is going to be different. You know, but then instead I'm in the hospital still, I'm grieving the loss of our child now. And so, you know, it was just a lot to deal with. So, I mean, my brother came, my sister came, my sister-in-law came. They were just all there for support, just support for the 2 of us. So they moved me into the room that I would be in for the week. And of course, I'm like, I want to go home. But like I said, I had surgery, so they would not let me go anywhere. So the rest of the week is a blur. I know I had a lot of visitors. I know I had a lot of different doctors come in and talk to me about different things, different options, different decisions. To this day, we don't know what happened. We did have an autopsy, and there was nothing in the autopsy to show anything that happened. So the worst part about the situation isn't just him passing, but not even be able to get closure. It's as if we had to figure out how to just move on without knowing, well, why isn't he with us though? You know, there was nothing wrong with him, and then there was nothing shown. No umbilical cord, no nothing. And like I said, it's one of the hardest things to move on from. Which is part of the reason why I wasn't ready to talk about this, you know, before. But like I said, the rest of the week is a big blur. We had a lot of visitors to come. I remember trying to eat, but everything that I ate, I threw up. I had applesauce, crackers, and I just threw everything up. I remember we took pictures the next day on that Tuesday. We had a photographer come into the room, and the photographer took pictures for us, so we do have those to treasure. yeah, it's just a blur, like I said, and all I know is that we had a lot of support, but grief overshadows a lot, and it's just hard to remember specifics, or I know it happened and I know I was there, but my focus was on our son and how we were going to move on from that. We had a gender reveal, which I'm insert a clip right here.
Ready? Everybody in the room can count for them. We're gonna say 3, 2, 1, pop. Okay?
Up above your head.
Really?
Ready? 3,
2, 1.
pop.
We had a baby shower, and so many people came out for our shower, so we were absolutely 100% ready for him to come. Remember, this was 3 days before he was due, so at that point he could have come naturally, you know. And the thing that we wonder is what happened between the doctor's office and the hospital. You know, if I hadn't decided to be induced, would we have still lost him, or would he be with us today? You know, it's just, there's so many questions that go in your head, go through your mind as a grieving parent. A lot of what ifs. There's nothing that I think I could have done anything different, because I didn't do anything different than what I was advised to do. And then the day that, you know, I had my appointment, there was nothing wrong. She just offered to let me meet our son early. So it was like, what happened? Anyways, so we took pictures. We started planning his funeral. We had a full-fledged funeral. We were in the hospital from Monday to Thursday, and then between Friday and Saturday we had to, well, during that week we also planned the funeral, but because I was in the hospital we couldn't find anything for him to wear. So between that Friday and Saturday we had to find something for him to wear. But because he was so small, he was only 5 pounds 14 ounces. So because he was so small, even premature, well, not premature, but like newborn clothes wouldn't even fit him. Like, he was so much smaller than that, and we weren't really finding premature outfits because it was so late in the day, and then it was Saturday and things like that. So my mom, who is a seamstress, we designed a outfit for him, and it's basically like some shorts with a top and like suspenders. It's the cutest thing ever, and I really appreciate my mom for doing that, because I know that took a lot of her to be making the outfit for her grandson's funeral. Yeah, it was a lot in a short amount of time. And so we had his funeral and a burial, and we eventually chose his headstone, his headstone, and we go and we visit him as often as we can. We pick out flowers like every season almost. But yeah, so on that Tuesday we had a representative from Rachel's Gift come into our room. Rachel's Gift is a non-profit organization that partners with hospitals to assist parents with the grieving stages of infant loss. So they have support groups, they have counseling sessions for couples together, and they also have them for just the moms and just the dads. They give you pamphlets, they give you booklets, and they are just absolutely the best. I remember they sent me a Mother's Day card. They sent a Father's Day card from my boyfriend. They send letters throughout the year just saying, hey, we haven't forgotten about you. When it's his birthday, they send a card. When it's Christmas, the two like main days of the year where you'd really be celebrating your kids or giving to your kids, his birthday and Christmas. So they gave us a card or a letter and things like that, just reminding us that they're here for us if we need them, and explaining that they know that this will be an important time of the year for us. So they're thinking about us, basically. So I'm gonna show you a few things that we also got. They gave me this box. It's a Rachel's Gift sticker, and on the front of the box, inside of the box, they gave us little diapers, a little blanket. It says, "Our beloved baby." Rachel's Gift also accepts wedding dresses, and because of the fabric, it's usually like silk or polyester or a soft fabric, and they have seamstress who volunteer to make outfits for the babies with these wedding dresses, for parents who don't have anything for the baby to wear, either for the funeral or just in the hospital. We did have clothes for him in the hospital, but the things that we had planned to do with him in the hospital, changing his clothes, obviously, giving him a bath, wrapping him in the blankets that we had and putting him in the outfits that we had, taking pictures, it's as if grief took over and all of that went out the window. It's like we completely forgot to do all of that, because at this point we were grieving, we were devastated. But this is the outfit that he was wearing. It just opens in the back, and they put his arms and stuff through it, and this is the front. So the outfit that my mom made, it was similar to this, but it was shorts, and then it had buttons in the front, and it had straps, like suspender-like straps going above the shoulders. They gave us this little bear. He was wearing these little booties, but I decided to put white socks on him to match with his outfit that my mom made. They gave us these cute little diapers. We also got this blanket. When we took pictures of him, in the hospital, this blanket was wrapped around him. And then they gave us these little booklets. They are grieving for family and friends, a mother's grief, a father's grief, grandparents' grief. They gave us so much information. We also have the hospital bracelets that were wrapped around him. Yeah, that's pretty much it. This is a Christmas card that my nieces gave him in 2017. They came over here to the cemetery, and they put this there with a card. They put it in this bag so it wouldn't get messed up. But they put this there at his gravesite, and I think they may have left a teddy bear or something with it. I'm not sure, but I've obviously, kept that because that's special to me. That's, his older cousins. Rachel's Gift gave me this bear. I don't even think it was Rachel's Gift, but I forgot the name of it's a company called Molly Bears. You can order a bear in honor of your baby. So I got this bear. It's supposed to weigh the same amount that Avery weighed. Avery was 5 pounds. This bear probably weighs like 10 pounds, so it's a little heavier. But I asked them to put his name on the front, on one paw, and his date of birth on the second paw. So when I hold him, it's like I'm holding my baby. And then I got this bear for the baby that we miscarried. We didn't have a name. We don't even know if it was a boy or girl, but I asked for this bear for him, in honor of that baby. So yeah, just wanted to share those with you guys. They also have Rachel's Gift also has events throughout the year where you bring all the grieving parents together, and they can, you know, just support each other, and everyone is there for the same reason. So everyone is grieving, everyone is devastated for their loss and things like that. So on October 16, we had a angel dash, and you can either do a 5K or you can do a 1-mile walk. So there's so many parents and family and friends, loved ones that come out in honor of the angel. So the first year, we named our son Avery, and the first year they gave us these angel wings. It has his name on the front, and they give us these angel wings with his name. The second year, my boyfriend and I both got one of these, another pair of angel wings. I know I have a few other items. These are just bibs that we wore on, you know, the race. This was our 5th year. We went in 2017, and we've gone every year since then. But I have just like random items that I've collected. This is a copy of his footprints. He was 5 pounds, 14 ounces, and 19.5 inches long. Born on June 26, 2017 at 5:41 p.m. I literally have this bin full of stuff. So, I have some shirts that I need to show you guys, but one year at the race, they did like a team concert. A team contest. There were 2 different types of contests. One was the team with the best t-shirt. So basically, each team could design a shirt and basically have a sample shirt, and you hang it up where they tell you to put it, and whoever has the best t-shirt, whoever's team has the best t-shirt wins that contest. Then they also had the largest team contest. So there's 2 separate contests. I never won the team t-shirt contest, but I think the first like 3 years I won the largest team contest. So I believe 2019 I had 50 something people on my team. Everyone wasn't able to come to the race, but that didn't matter. As long as they were able to register under Team Avery, then they were part of my team. They also got a t-shirt, and they also were counted on my team. So that year I won team contest with the largest team. So I won 2017, 18, and 19. 2018 and 19 I got a gift for that. I don't remember which year was which. I don't remember which year was which, but I got a watch for each year. This is one of them. It just says RG in the face of the watch, and then in this one is also a watch, but it just has like red and blue. I don't know if those are butterflies or angel wings. I'm not sure. But those were the gifts. I kind of just treasure them because I worked so hard to represent my son, and so it's just something that I'm proud to have. This was a little hat that 2 hats that he had that he wore. So yeah, I'm gonna insert pictures of the t-shirts that I have that we've worn for the race. Yeah, I do have other stuff. I've gotten like Christmas ornaments with his name on them. I've gotten other Rachel's Gift ornaments and things like that. Just, I like to collect stuff. One thing I have done was my older brother told me about these license plates that you can get from Walmart. And he showed it to me, and I was like, oh, my next thing is to collect these. So from, I believe this was 2017 when I started collecting them, and I have almost all 50 states. There are some that I haven't had, but each state that I go to, I try to just go to Walmart and get 2 of these, one for me, one for my boyfriend, and we just collect them. These are just little things that we like to do. Like I got Washington, D.C. These are mostly Georgia, but yeah, it's been a journey. It's not a fun journey at all. But with the support of family and friends, we've been able to get through it. Avery was both mine and my boyfriend's firstborn. Our first child for both of us. And to not have answers is just... It's a long, hard process. It's not something that we ever thought we'd ever deal with. And during my pregnancy, because we were told that we had a perfect pregnancy, 99% perfect pregnancy, I guess this was that 1%. But we still never thought that it would happen to us. Then in 2019, March 2019, we also had a miscarriage. So we had to deal with that. And that loss just didn't make anything better. But now we have a 18-month-old. We found out we were pregnant in August 2019. He was born he was born April 2020. So we do have our rainbow baby, which we are grateful for. We will never forget about Avery. We think about him every day. He would have been 4 years old. But one thing that I do enjoy doing is doing things in honor of him. That keeps me from being so emotional. And you know, so many other people go through these situations. It's just, it's a mom's worst nightmare. You know, it's the worst thing ever to experience, and I would never wish this pain on anyone. I'm going to insert some clips I'm going to insert some clips from the pictures of t-shirts from the race. Then I want to show you guys those. And then I have some clips for the race that we did on October 16. So here that goes. Here it is now. Hey guys, so I wanted to add in this clip of these shirts that I've gotten, or that I've gotten made in honor of my son, that I like to wear. It's just something I like to do. So this one is Mom, established in 2017. I usually wear this on his birthday. It's his name. One of my friends designed shirts and make shirts, so she did this for me. My little angels call me mommy, and my boyfriend's shirt says my little angels call me daddy. And on the back she put Team Avery. Then this is the shirt that I wore the first year. Yes, I did make it. But hey, I'm still representing my son, Team Avery. And then on the back, it says, I run for my son. And I made one this year for my son that says, I run for my brother. And his says Team Avery on the front also. I also made this same shirt for my siblings and my parents. So there it says, I run for my grandson and I run for my nephew. And then this is probably my favorite shirt that I got made, Proud Mommy of an Angel. And then on the back of this shirt is this. Has his name, date of birth, and the day he was born, how much he weighed, and what time he was born, and then footprints on the side. So that's actually probably my favorite shirt out of all of them. I know I told you guys about it, but I just had to show it to you guys because it's so cute and little. But yeah, his says Team Avery on the front with his date of birth, and the back says I run for my brother. So I just want to show you guys. This is really cute. So it's the next day and we are starting the race. That's my sister and my cousin behind us. So wish us luck, and I'll get back to you guys in a little bit. I see my sister, or I think that's my sister, Yep, that's her. And my cousin right there in the blue. And my sister right there in the white. Say hey! So we do a memorial where we let the balloons go. All the families get balloons in honor of their babies. This one says, "Forever in our hearts you'll stay. We will love you and remember you every single day." I wrote, "Team Avery, we love you." And then whenever they're ready, we'll just let them go, and yeah. So this is my friend Dave. For my video. Dave and Tina, they're my good closest friends. They also lost their son in 2017, right after Avery. So they are team game, we are team Avery, but we always support each other.
Oh yeah.
Always support each other. So.
My God.
So the race is over. It was a great experience. My son and I completed the race. My sister completed the race, and my cousin and one of my friends, he actually came in first in his age category. So today was a very nice day for all the families to come out and honor their babies. We all just come together, and we've always enjoyed this event. This is our 5th year doing this, so we will positively be here again next year. So that's going to be all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your bell notifications and stay tuned to my next video.